My sil hates that my mill likes me and I don't know what to do. I, 28F white, am married to a first-generation Canadian man Alex, 30M Chinese. Race is important. We met at an alumni program for our university. We have been together for almost 6 years, married for nearly 4, and I met his mother 2 years into our relationship, just before he proposed. Alex's mother is hard to please, and that is an understatement. Both of her sons are doctors. Alex is a plastic surgeon, and his brother John, 35M, is a GP, and her mother drilled traditional Chinese beliefs into her. I have several invisible physical and neurological disabilities that prevent me from working a regular job, POTS, autism, PF, and we have decided I will stay at home while Alex works. He pays me an allowance, and we have separate bank accounts. John is married to Olivia, 30F white, an engineer. I don't like her much because she puts me down for not working a white-collar job and tells me I'm succumbing to the patriarchy. I try not to interact with her unless family events come up. I went to Mill's house a few years ago to help her with some chores as she's getting older and needs help, although she never asks for it. I cleaned her house for her, and she made tea. She has a thick accent, so I have taken the time to understand it, and I'm currently looking for Mandarin classes in my area with open spots so I can speak with her in her language. After our conversation, she asked me to help her fold dumplings. I felt it was an honor, and every month since I fold dumplings with her on a Saturday in preparation for the monthly family dinner. She's blunt about my facial features and how I don't meet Chinese beauty standards but affectionately calls me Ho-Hu or Firefox because I have naturally red hair, I'm small, and I'm cute. My sil is furious that I have a good relationship with my mill. She has tried for years to get close to my mill, but in my opinion, Olivia pushes her away. From my mill's point of view, Olivia is too loud, too abrasive and too Western. This all came to a head today. My mill took me out to a Chinese tailor in the heavily populated East Asian district of our city, and he took my measurements for a hanfu, a traditional Han Chinese dress. It is the nicest thing she has ever done for me, and I felt so overwhelmed by happiness I posted a picture of my mill and me. With her permission, after the measurements and colors were decided, I let her pick because she knows the style better than I do. My sil saw it and blew up my phone angrily, demanding how I managed to get along with my mother-in-law so well. She hurled insults at me over my appearance, my lack of a job, and my staying at home. I feel awful, and I wish I knew what to do. I wish I didn't have a micropenis. It sucks. That's it, that's the post. Just wanted to rant. Sorry. I'm just about 1/4 inch flaccid and 3 inches erect. Sometimes smaller, like non-existent during experiencing shrinkage. In short, it just sucks. Thank you. Edibles changed my sex life forever. When it came to sex, I rarely orgasmed with my partners. Probably came twice out of all of them. Maybe it was a mental block. Maybe they just weren't very good, but I just could not get myself to that point. With my most recent boyfriend, I also had a hard time. But we were still getting to know each other and what we liked, so I didn't think too much about it. After all, it was not unusual for me. But that all changed after I tried an edible for the first time. They made me so sensitive, everywhere. Every touch was like a fire was lit inside of me. And finally I could orgasm. Before, if I could, it was never through penetration and it took ages. Now, I'm having multiple, back-to-back, by penetration only. Even when I'm not high. It's like weed broke through whatever mental block I was putting up subconsciously. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying sex for the first time in my life. And God has it shot up my sex drive. I definitely want it more than my boyfriend does now, which is a huge change from a year ago when I was wondering if maybe I was asexual. I feel like my entire world has changed in the best way. Maybe it's the edibles, maybe it's not. Either way, it's amazing. My boyfriend won't accept my answer that something makes me feel uncomfortable. Okay, so my boyfriend and I were going to his old high school to collect something and I told him I didn't feel comfortable going in. For context, the place smells weird, like old shoes, sweat. It's an all-boys school and they're always staring or catcalling me. So I told him that and he kept pushing and begging me to go in. This isn't the first time I've told him it made me uncomfortable, and I've explained why multiple times in the past and he's kept begging and pressuring me. I've tried explaining and he said my answer was vague and he doesn't accept it. He then argued with me for 30 minutes about why does it make me uncomfortable, it makes no sense and he doesn't understand cause it's a shitty answer. Maybe I'm seeing it as something too deep, but I feel like he doesn't respect my answer. You know what, maybe it's not that deep and I'm dramatic as F, but this isn't the first time he's ignored things I've said or how I've felt cause it wasn't a good enough for him. I think my daughter hates her father, and I won't encourage her to do things with him. So my daughter, 4 years old, on the spectrum, doesn't like talking to her father. She won't answer his questions, ignores him, and if I need to leave her alone with him she'd rather go to her room than be around him. She used to like spending time playing with him and hanging out. Today he yelled at her over something stupid. She changed her mind about what she wanted to eat. So she got upset and he kept asking her why she was upset. She wouldn't tell him. He finally left her alone. She came crying to me. I asked her why she was so upset and she pointed at him. When I told him why she was upset, he freaking yelled at her again.